Yo, what is up guys, it's Fried Sushi here. Welcome back to the daily YouTube trip reports from Reddit. This is number 5 and the title of this trip report is Heroic Dose 8.5 grams dried of penis envy. Hi, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Jay. I am 19 and live in Florida. I used to grow a wide variety of mushrooms including magic mushrooms, for personal usage. It was April 21 of 2021. I just harvested and dried about 68.4 grams of penis envy 6 mushrooms. I worked with this strain and made it as potent as possible by cloning the mushrooms that would turn the darkest blue and tested the percentages of psilocin and other psychoactive compounds in it. Now I stored them in a mason jar with a silica packet, but I decided to leave out 3.5 grams to try. I used the lemon tech method for consumption, and while I waited for it to break down the compounds, I went to my room and set it up. I ran out and bought some snacks and other things to make this an enjoyable experience. When I came back, I finished getting all the decorations and tapestries I had up, and then I took a shot of lemon juice and shrooms. Now my friends in New Jersey told me they were taking some tabs, so we all decided to hop on a Discord and play some Call of Duty Warzone and some Dead by Daylight. About 40 minutes go by and I still have yet to see any visuals. I felt a bit restless and was clenching my jaw, which is something I noticed I do when taking substances. I just figured maybe it was just a delayed reaction and waited another half hour. At this point I felt nothing. No visuals nor any euphoric feelings. My friends also started to peek on their tabs and I was confused as to why. I just decided it was my dosage, so I just decided to take 5 grams because why not? I didn't have to work for 2 days and I believed I was able to handle it. So I decided to lemon tech the 5 grams and see how I felt. I had a few trip killers, being some benzos, and I was quite confident in taking such a big dose. I took the 5 grams and about 5 minutes later I already saw visuals. Now I don't know if it was from the 3.5 or the 5 grams, but one thing was for certain, it was coming on fast and strong too. I started to feel uncomfortable after about 30 minutes because I felt like my friends were judging me even though we were just casually playing as we normally do, so I hopped off the Discord without saying a word. I went to my bed and laid down and started to watch some Netflixes. I was expecting my girlfriend to come home from work, seeing how she was getting off at 2 p.m. at this point, but she didn't show up. I immediately thought the worst and believed she gotten into a car accident and could have possibly lost her life, so I started to panic and scramble to look for my phone to call her. At this point the visuals were becoming unbearable and extremely uncomfortable, seeing how I already was in a panic. I continued to look for my phone and soon realized that I was using it as a flashlight to look underneath my bed. I rushed to call her and she answered. After a few rings she told me she was off and she was gonna hang out with her sister for a bit, and I was fine with it. I decided to let her know I was tripping and she was okay with it after we said our goodbyes and cut the call a bit short. Now that I snapped out of the panic, I realized how bad I was tripping. It knocked me off my feet and was extremely overwhelming. I felt super nauseous and started to go down a bad thought process. I believed that I had overdosed and I was going to have a heart attack and my girlfriend would find me dead in our home. I realized that it was just a bad trip and hopped on YouTube and watched Psych Substance to calm me down. I watched his videos and his soothing voice calmed my nerves, and I closed my eyes and enjoyed the kaleidoscope of colors going on. I took a moment though and looked around my room and just noticed how advanced technology had become. I thought about us being able to watch someone through a screen speak worlds they had spoken months or even years ago. I stopped watching and just took a moment to think. I started to appreciate how lucky I was to have a roof over my head and a loving family and girlfriend. Now I began to think, what if my girlfriend is cheating on me, and began to overthink and believe she wasn't with her sister and she was with a guy and taking advantage of my vulnerable state of being. I didn't want to ask and start a fight, but it was eating me from the inside out. I decided to change my setting and take a shower and listen to some music. At this point I felt so nauseous my stomach felt like it was gonna fall out of me. When I got in the shower I felt bloated but no longer nauseous. I was dancing to the music and heard a call. It was my girlfriend and she was at her dad's house. She was checking on me and it was a good call until I was interrupted by a call from my mom, who doesn't know I trip. I felt obligated to answer and for some reason I felt like she knew I was tripping before I even spoke a single word. I just told her I was busy and I'd call her later and she said okay. I became extremely nervous by that and hung up and called my girlfriend back. I started shaking with anxiety. I tried to talk to her but I turned around and proceeded to throw up. I was throwing up for about 3 minutes and my girlfriend asked if I was okay and if she should come home. I told her no and to just talk to me because the trip went to absolute shit. I started to cry while throwing up. Now in my mind I believed I was a different entity in a different dimension and the only way to kill the trip was by shooting myself, so I looked for my gun. Thank God I couldn't find it, but I just asked my girlfriend to talk to me so I don't think about doing it anymore. And so she proceeded to do it while I got dressed and went back to my room and laid down. At this point I was over the trip and just wanted it to end. My girlfriend sped home, but in the meantime I Dr. Phil and closed my eyes. I watched the colorful visuals as I heard Dr. Phil speak. It sounded like white noise but my brain picked out some words like courage, strength, addicted, and more words, and in my head it all made sense. I started to feel better and my girlfriend came into the room and gave me a hug. She told me to get dressed because we're going for a walk. So I did and I felt so good. The rest of the trip was straightforward and calming. Since the trip I haven't touched a drug since and don't plan to for a while. But it did leave me with one outlook on life. Live in the present, stop worrying about what the possibility of life can be, just look at them for what they are. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the trip report for today guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this trip report from Reddit and I'll see you in the next one.